In this movie we'll show you how we can use EasyThread to create a tapered thread. So when we start off EasyThread, we'll be shown a smaller screen than this, but I've expanded the screen to show you the full simulation at the end of the video. One of the things that we can also do with EasyThread is that when we have created a part, we can show the report here. So this gives us a report about the current thread that we're specifying. So to see that, you can either switch that on or off and so on. Okay, so let's do a tapered thread. So we'll use the thread wizard again. So this is the thread wizard, similar to what we used for the parallel thread, but this time we've set our stock to our taper angle to be 5 degrees. When we build the stock model, then we need to specify that taper angle here. Don't forget that when you change any of these parameters, you need to click the build STL from dimensions. Okay, so I'm using a 5 degrees, so I'll just change that back. The tool that is used can be identical to a parallel thread, but in some cases you might want to use a tapered tool, in which case then you'd specify the taper angle here, and that would obviously need to be a multi-point tool with more than one tooth. If you get a message like this, it's just showing you that the stock diameter is larger than the thread diameter. This is because on a tapered thread the stock diameter is the base of the taper, and we're starting machining at 22.5, which is a distance above that. So it's just a warning, it's not an error. So this is the creating the G-code file. So the G-code file has been created, and it's now going to be simulated. So in this instance, as we can see, we've got a piece of stock which is showing us the taper. Okay, so that's machining a tapered thread. Whenever you're creating a thread within EasyThread, you can always create a new part, save the part, or recall an existing part. Whenever you do that, then the part files are stored in a folder: My Documents, Dolphin CAD/CAM, Easy Tools, EasyThread. So this is where you can save all your threads, so everything that you create will be stored in this folder. So that includes the thread data itself and the output files, the G-code files. When you're creating threads, or when you're starting to use the system, you can go to the settings page here, and this gives you the things like spindle direction, cutting feed rate can be in feed per rev or feed per minute, the block numbers that are used in the CNC output file. If you don't need block numbers, you uncheck that box here. The block number increment and the maximum block number, the number of decimal places in metric and inches. The G-code extension file we've set up as TAP, but you can set this to NCG, TXT, whatever you want to do. And then you have some tolerances here, so in most cases you can leave these tolerances alone. They're just used in the simulation and the cutting parameters. They have also a CNC output file for the header and the footer of the G-code file that you can edit. So if you select that, you can choose which header file and exit file you use, and you can edit the contents of that. So that if you have a setup a file of your own description, then you can choose to use that. But this is just a simple tail section where it cancels any cutter conf, moves the Z to a safe position, and then moves the XY to a safe position, and then ends the file. So those are the settings page. So if you want to use any of that, then you can do. This button here, when you have that checked, it will automatically simulate the CNC code after you've created the thread data. But this will depend on you having PartMaster installed on your system.